when I was really practicing or going more in depth into my practice of presence, I started questioning a lot of the things that I was doing. And this covered a span of pretty much everything you can think of. And the one day I was walking to a restaurant to go pick up my friend, and I noticed that as I was walking, I walked at my sort of normal or usual pace, which was quite speedy. And in the past, whenever somebody had said or asked me like why I walk so fast, or like, wow, you walk so fast, or whatever, my response would always be, well, yeah, like, why wouldn't you? Like, we have a destination to get to, so why not get there, right? And get there quickly and get there efficiently and get like it doesn't make sense to me why people walk slow. That was always just almost like the automatic thought. And I noticed in that moment as I'm walking towards the restaurant, and while I'm in this space of questioning everything I'm doing and why I do it, and, you know, is this because I want to do it, or is this because something is like making me do this unconsciously? I asked myself, why am I walking so fast? And the first thought that comes to mind is, well, I've got to get there, right? I've got to get to the restaurant. I've got to pick up my friend. And I questioned that, and I stopped and I said, okay, yes, but you're 30 minutes early, which means you don't have to actually get there fast. And secondly, even if you did get there late, it doesn't really matter, because you know your friend would be okay with that. And also, I mean, she might be late anyway, because that happened quite often. So I was like, okay, yeah, but that's just how I've always done it. And then I questioned that. I was like, okay, but just because you've always done it this way doesn't mean you have to do it this way. Like, why? Why are you making yourself walk fast just because you've always walked fast before? And then I was like, okay, you know what? Let me almost battle against this idea. Let me do the opposite. Let me walk slowly, just to try it out. Because now I've like pretty much agreed with myself that I don't have to go fast. So I slowed down. And I noticed as I started slowing down, my body almost seemed to enjoy it more. Like, I noticed I became more relaxed, and also my body became, not that it was like in pain, but it almost like felt relieved. My body literally, like, I felt these like sensations go through my body, again, because I've been very focused on feeling into my body. I felt these like really nice, enjoyable, relaxing, calm, relieving sensations start flowing through my body as I slowed down. And I was like, wow, why am I walking fast? You know what I mean? Like, if this is how I can feel by walking slowly, enjoying it more, being more present, being more calm, feeling more relaxed and good in myself, why the fuck am I walking fast all the time? Why have I been walking fast this whole time? Just because I feel like I have to get somewhere, or I've always done it that way. Like, so what? And then I noticed something really interesting. The ego, using the mind, started fighting back. And I was like, no, you can't walk slowly. And you can't walk that slowly, because what if people think you're weird? What if people see you walking that slowly? And they're like, what's wrong with this guy? What's he doing? Blah, 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 blah. And I stopped and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Because I sat there and I was like, first of all, it was the middle of the night, so like no one's there. Even if they are, they're not going to be worried or like sitting and thinking and judging this random person who's like walking down the street at a moderate or slow pace at the very worst, they'll probably think, oh, this guy's going for a midnight stroll and he is taking his time and enjoying it, right? Worst case, yeah, they would be like, well, is this guy okay? But at the same time, it's like, if that's the cost of me feeling better, I'll take it any day. But it was just so interesting to me in that moment how, as I tried to do something that opposed this action that I was used to, that I was being like convinced to do, the ego would come in again and try and like undermine it, would try and argue against it. Again, out of fear, trying to make me stop doing that, even though it felt good. So when I argued against that, I continued my walk and I got there way before the time. I felt better in my body. And as simple as it sounds, my world, my perspective opened up just a little bit more. Because I was like, holy shit, I've been walking fast at pace, literally with this like tension for pretty much my whole life. Something as simple as slowing down as I walk allows me to be more present, allows me to feel better in my body, allows me to think or really have the perspective of what else could I shift slightly and feel better around. So I'd like to ask you, why do you walk fast? And what is the logical, rational evidence that backs that up? And can you question that? Can you dig into that a little bit more? Can you argue against it just for the sake of arguing? Because you might find that you will discover a way of being, even through something as simple as walking, where you get to feel better, where you get to experience life more, where you get to enjoy. What I'm really talking about here is, yes, walking and walking fast. That was a very real story and a very real experience. But the underlying idea or system behind that is how your ego, aka your limiting beliefs, your patterns, your conditioning, what you've been made to think and believe about how to do and show up in the world, can control you, can control the way you do things and make you show up in ways that are less beneficial to you, less enjoyable to you, that keep you small, that keep you stuck, that keep you from experiencing life in a way that is just better for you individually. And my invitation is to start questioning these things. Really start sitting and asking yourself, why the fuck am I doing these things? It doesn't have to be that aggressive, but like, you know, why do I get up in the bed on the left side? Why do I, before bed, scroll on my phone for 30 to 60 minutes? Why do I, you know, if I'm doing spiritual practices, why do I do it to the book, to the T, the way Master Set told me to? Why am I not experimenting? Why am I not playing? Why am I not finding what works for me? Feeling into what feels good inside of myself. There was this really awesome thing that another YouTuber said that I'd like to bring out, which is, there's a saying, God is good, right? And I think, myself included, a lot of people view that as God is a good being, it is a good thing. And by the way, when I say God, I mean whatever language you use. God, universe, source, spirit, fucking whatever, right? Energy, like creator. God is good. And what this YouTuber said, she said, it's not that God itself is good. It is that goodness is God. Goodness is energy. Goodness is truth. And the literal feeling of goodness is God. And if you think about what I just said, if you can start shifting your life, your behaviors, your patterns into things that allow you to feel good, then you come more into contact with God. For example, when I was walking fast, I was tense, I was stressed, I would literally sweat because I was making myself sweat. And because I'm in the Philippines, which is hot. But when I allowed myself to slow down after recognizing that the only thing that was making me walk fast were bullshit ideas and beliefs that were literally spawned out of nothingness, if we're really honest. As soon as I moved past that nothingness and those illusions and the bullshit and allowed myself to do something that I was being sort of stopped to do before, I felt good. It put me into a state of being, a feeling inside of my body where I was able to enjoy more of life, enjoy that moment of walking. And if you want to use a different language, it allowed me to be more present. So seriously, start questioning, start identifying where there may be beliefs, ideas, conditioning, patterning that are holding you back, that are there for no other real reason than fucking mom or dad or Steve or Pastor John or whatever told you. But that doesn't mean it's true. And it especially doesn't mean it's true for you. Okay. And if you want help identifying and working through those and shifting them, breaking them, changing the perspective, alchemizing them basically, so that you can become, so that you can become closer to remembering your truest self, who you are underneath all of that crap, then you're welcome to reach out to me to work together. Right now it's going to be via email only. I'm still setting up the whole back-end system, but when that's ready you can just probably go to the link in my bio. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.